Augmented reality. So, what is augmented reality? Augmented reality is an interactive experience that enhances the real world with computer-generated perceptual information. Using software, apps, and hardware such as AR glasses, augmented reality overlays digital content onto real-life environments and objects. Augmented reality, sometimes referred to as mixed reality, is a type of technology that allows digital images and information to be displayed onto the physical environment. But how does it work? Augmented reality starts with a camera-equipped device loaded with AR software. When a user points the device and looks at an object, the software recognizes it through computer vision technology, which analyzes the video stream by means of post-tracking. So let me give you examples of augmented reality. The most basic example of augmented reality is the Snapchat filters. Snapchat uses a augmented reality by overlaying filter on your face. The next example is the IKEA Studio app. IKEA lets you preview furniture in your home via AR, but its latest AI-powered iOS app offers a big leap in capability. It scans your rooms using LiDAR and builds a complete 3D replica of them, then lets you delete your existing furniture. Another example is the Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go features an augmented reality mode for a better player experience. The AR mode captures the real-life scene through your camera and places a Pokemon on your screen. The next example is the tactical AR. This is where the term heads-up display emerged. All the crucial information, spatial orientation data, weapons targeting, etc., is being superimposed on the pilot's visor so they do not have to look down at their panels all the time and have much better situational awareness. And the last example is Gamma AR. Gamma AR is an application for monitoring construction sites. It uses augmented reality technology to overlay 3D building information models or BIM on construction sites using smartphones or tablets. In summary, augmented reality is one of the most exciting new technologies to come onto the scene in a long time. It is the next big thing to happen in the world of technology. But surely, there are advantages and disadvantages of AR to consider, from productiveness to ill effects. The pros of augmented realities are: it is better than reality, it is used in various fields, users have exhilarating experience, it connects with people, it is also offers an effective communication. But there are also cons in augmented reality. The cons of augmented reality are: it is unaffordable, it has privacy and security problems, it promotes risky behavior, and it can also lead to addiction, and fatalities are major disadvantages of AR, and more health issues.
Virtual reality. Virtual reality is the use of computer technology to create a simulated environment. Unlike traditional user interfaces, VR places the user inside an experience. In simple words, instead of viewing a screen in front of them, users are immersed and able to interact in 3D worlds. By simulating as many senses as much as possible, such as vision, hearing, touch, even smell, the computer is transformed into a gatekeeper to this artificial world. The key takeaways of virtual reality is that this creates an immersive artificial world that can seem quite real via the use of this technology. And through a virtual reality viewer, users can look up, down, or which way as if they were actually there. So this virtual reality viewer is the virtual reality headset or VR headset. I'll show you the example of it later on. And virtual reality has many use cases, including entertainment and gaming, or acting as a sale, educational, or training tool. I think gaming is where the virtual reality really caters in. As you all know, today's generation likes to play games, and developers or like independent or dependent develops these games that are meant to be played with a virtual headset, and it made the users entertained, and these technologies can is acted or acting as a sale, or aside from it being focused on gaming, it says that it's also educational, of course. Since like for example, VR headsets are, well, it's expensive, but if you can afford one, it'll give you more what you call this, more experience with the view, even if it's something that's impossible to reach now. For example, um if you are in a far away place, you can just use VR headset to check that place out. But doesn't mean that you're actually there. You're just looking at that place via virtual reality. So it's just you seeing visually, not feeling or anything. So those are the key takeaways take, key takeaways of virtual reality. Next. Oh, okay. Examples of virtual reality. My first example here is Beat Saber. Beat Saber is a virtual reality rhythm game where you slash the beats of adrenaline pumping music as they fly towards you, surrounded by a futuristic world. As you can see here, this man uses a VR headset, um, two joysticks, both of his hands, and in the headset, the man can see how I'm showing you here is how he view like his vision. That's how he sees it. It's a virtual futuristic world. Next, VR chat. I mean, VR chat, from the name itself, is just a virtual reality chat room. Okay, so VR chat offers an endless collection of social VR experiences by giving the power of creation to its community. Whether you're looking for a new VR experience or have an idea of your own, VR chat is the place to be. So VR chat is just, well, if you put in an easier term, or like it's just messenger but in virtual reality. And of course you still need a virtual headset like the one the man used in Beat Saber. And all you do here in this game is just to chat with people. But because it's virtual reality and it uses the internet, you can talk to many people, right? Random people. Even if you don't know them in real life, you can talk to them, you can interact with them, but you can touch them. You can only see them and talk to them. That's all you can do in VR chat with the use of virtual reality technology. Next. In medical. Yes, virtual reality is beneficial in the medical field because of its interactive digital models gives students and teachers access to advanced ways of visualizing human anatomy that are vastly superior to traditional cadaver and book-based anatomy lessons. So if you use a virtual reality, you can see, like for example, a skeleton, right, or the nervous system. If you use the VR headset, you can see that instead of a flat paper, right, in a 2D space, it's just two sides, right? But with VR technology, you can see it in a 3D model. So you can see how the structure of that model, right? Next, tourism. Yes, I mentioned it earlier that VR, VR, virtual reality definitely helps tourism through allow users to visit a new place without physically traveling there. Like, yes, I mentioned it earlier, and obviously, it will not be a replacement for the actual travel experience, but it will help people to explore parts of the world virtually, or at least check a destination before going there. See, this is how powerful the virtual reality to tourism. It lets people, like I said earlier, to make them feel as if they were at the place, even though that person is definitely away from that place. And what he or she does is just to see the place that he wants to travel to, right? Next, the military. Yes, virtual reality is also, or it's been adopted by the military. This includes all the three services, the Army, Navy, and the Air Forces, where it is only used, okay, for training purposes, nothing more, nothing less, because as you all know, virtual reality is not real. It's just a, it's only in a digital environment. It doesn't exist in reality, right? And this is also particularly useful for training soldiers for combat situations or other dangerous settings where they have to learn how to react in a appropriate manner. So with virtual reality, this helps these soldiers to be more prepared for if I don't know, if they were called to go for a war. Pros and cons, but I guess uh augmented reality and virtual reality has the same pros, but for cons, there's differences. High cost. It's high cost because first, the VR headset itself is expensive, while augmented reality is, well, you can only use it with your phone and also in your PC. So you don't have to spend a lot of money on it. But here in virtual reality, you have to buy a virtual headset or any um tools or tools you have to, so you can use virtual reality. And communication should not be replaced for a group of people. So even if virtual reality offers you a better communication as it is online virtual, you can talk to a lot of people, doesn't mean that you can just stay there. Like, it's unhealthy. So you have to talk with your family and friends in the real world too, using your own mouth and show them yourself physically, right? And here, feeling of worthlessness. See, if you use virtual reality for a long time, let's say you use most of your time in the virtual reality, 80%, while 20% for reality, there's a huge difference, and it affects your way to perceive or communicate with other people. And when you go off from virtual reality, you feel weird or off to talk to people, and that's why you feel worthless, because virtual reality and reality is completely different, because you are more immersed in the virtual reality. The When you face reality again, you feel worthless because of the difference between two worlds. where in the virtual reality you can feel a different version of you, right? That's what I think. And well, users addictive to the virtual world. Well, like I said, if you have 80% more time on virtual reality than reality is 20%, that means you are already addictive to that, to virtual reality, and that's not healthy. And this technology is also experimental. It's experimental because of a couple of things, and one of this is a new technology, and this technology brings a lot of potential, whether it affects the human society or how a human works or how the human body affects you. I mean, it literally, virtuality can literally make you an addict to the world, virtual world, and that is not actually, like, I wouldn't say like really bad, but it would affect the human race, I guess. I don't know what will happen to the humans in 20 years, but yeah, this technology is still experimental. So the difference between augmented reality and virtual reality is that, well, like I said, virtual reality is just in a digital environment. It doesn't exist in the real world. While augmented reality uses real world settings, right? That's like, for example, that Pokemon game, oh, Pokemon Go. It uses real world setting, right? While virtual reality is just virtual. You can't do anything physically, I guess. And augmented reality can control their presence in the real world, while virtual reality is controlled by the system. Well, VR headsets, or in the, if in the game you are controlled by the system again, yeah. And augmented reality is just you can control your presence because it uses a real world setting, so you can control it yourself. But in virtual reality, well, in a in virtual environment, you cannot be you can control how you do, right? Because it's you are in a system and you can go against it, I guess. Augmented reality can be accessed with a smartphone. Well, of course, like if you compare it to virtual reality, where it's only in a digital environment, these two these two like realities are different, or technologies, I mean. Virtual reality actually requires a VR headset, and that VR headset is expensive and cannot be afforded by anyone. And in augmented reality, enhances both the virtual and real world. And the example of this is, like I said, Pokemon Go. And VR only enhances fictional reality, or in the digital world. So that's, I guess that's what the differences between the two, augmented reality and virtual reality. And that would be the end of our topic